Hi everyone, this is 6th grade Elevate. For the next 2 days, we will be working on evaluating using the order of operations. So we typically know order of operations as PEMDAS. However, it is a little bit more complex than that, right? Here it says, when an expression has more than one operation, we must apply the order of operations to solve. Order of operations is the order in which each operation or step should be completed to evaluate or find the final answer. So when there is more than one operation, there is a method to the madness. We cannot work from left to right for all the operations, right? There is a process that we must follow in order to get the right answer. If students do not follow that process, they will get the wrong answer. And so the order in which we are supposed to go in is what we call PEMDAS. Parentheses first, then exponents. Some people get this part confused or forget that multiplication and division are interchangeable. So are addition and subtraction. So yes, we say PEMDAS, but there's a world in which division could come before multiplication, which would be something like PEDMAS, right? Or there is a world in which subtraction comes before addition, which would be what? PEMSA, right? And so it's important to know that because multiplication and division are interchangeable, when we have a question that includes both multiplication and division, we have to work left to right, whichever one you see first. So if you see the division first, you have to do the division before you do multiplication. And the same thing goes for subtraction and addition. So you will do whichever of the two operations you see first. So if you see subtraction, or if the subtraction comes first in the problem before the addition, you have to do the subtraction first. So here's an example, but it's already done for us, so we're not going to present this to students. We are going to jump into our teacher model of these 4 questions. The first thing that you want to ask students is, based on the mini lesson that I've just given you above around process and order of operations, look at questions 1 through 4 and talk to your buddies. How are these questions similar and how are they different? What you should hear students discuss is that all the numbers are the same and all the operations are the same. What is different is that the parentheses are in different locations within each problem. Question 1 doesn't even have parentheses. And so from there, I want you to have students write PEMDAS on their paper for every single one of these questions, because this is how they track their progress. So for question 1, you would ask yourself something like, okay, I'm modeling, and as I'm modeling, you are copying my process. So the first question I want to ask myself is there parentheses? No, there are no parentheses in this question. So let me go ahead and cross that out. What's the next step? Exponents. Do I have any exponents in this question? No. Let me go ahead and cross that out. Do I see multiplication? Well, we know that multiplication and division go together. Do I see multiplication or division? Yes, we see multiplication. We do not see division. Great. So that means we don't have to worry about the interchangeability between the two of them. We're just going to focus on the multiplication. We see multiplication in 2 places, so let's do both of them. Let's go ahead and put our parentheses because we want to focus in. So parentheses helps you focus in. Even if the question doesn't give you the parentheses, it helps us focus so we're not multiplying the wrong things by the wrong things, right? So we know that 3 plus 2 gives us 6. 8 plus 3 gives us 24. We then want to rewrite the entire equation. with the new values that we have just solved. So instead of writing 3 times 2, we're going to use the 6 that we just found. Bring that addition down. And instead of writing 8 times 3, we know that that's 24. So we're going to bring that 24 down. Bring your other addition down. And then that 5 that we did nothing with yet down. Okay? The next set that we want to look at is our addition and subtraction. We know that they go hand in hand. Do we see any addition or subtraction? Yes, we see addition. We don't see any subtraction. Great. So we're going to only focus in on addition, right? And we can go step by step. You can use parentheses again to hone in. We know that the commutative property applies here. It doesn't matter how we add because it's all addition. So some students may want to do 6 plus 5 first. Some students may want to do 6 plus 24 first. It doesn't matter here. But it's always better for you to go from left to right. So 6 plus 4 plus 5 gives you 35. Okay. Same process applies to question 2, except we have some different steps based on where the parentheses are. So, first question, are there parentheses? Yes, there are parentheses. Let's go ahead and do that. So the parentheses are around a lot of digits and operations. All that tells us is that we need to do PEMDAS focused in on what is in the parentheses. So PEMDAS tells me that multiplication comes before addition. Within the parentheses, I see addition and I see multiplication, but PEMDAS tells me that the M comes before the A, so I need to do that. I cannot do 2 plus 8 and then 3 plus 5 and then multiply them together. No, I need to do the multiplication first. So, bringing everything down, 8 plus 3 gives me 24. Bring my 2 plus down and bring my plus 5 down. I end up getting 31, right? 2 plus 24 plus 5 is 31. Don't forget about this 3 that was outside the parentheses. We need to bring that back down. So then 3 plus 31 gives me 93. Right? So same numbers for questions 1 and 2. Same operations for questions 1 and 2. But the parentheses placement changed my answer. So from there, you're going to do question 3, and then you're going to do question 4 before launching students to work on 10 minutes of partner practice for questions 5 through 12. There is no exit ticket for today because for question 55, students are going to get more practice with PEMDAS. You do not have to go through the model again unless you have some students who are not there. You do not have to go through the mini lesson again unless there were some students who are not there. You would do a quick recap with questions 1 through 4. You do not have to go through all of these questions, but you will want to do a quick recap. Again, depending on how many students were there, did they grasp the lesson, were they struggling, before launching them into 10 minutes of partner practice, and then 5 minutes for their exit ticket. Now, for this exit ticket, each question will be 2 points. This should not be here. Each question will be worth 2 points. 1 point for their process and 1 point for their final answer. Because there are a total of 4 questions, 2 points each is out of 8 points. And as always, your sprint fluency is at the bottom.